compassion is giving, and it really means hope and togetherness and forgetting all the things that come before that, just looking at that person inside and forgetting all the obstacles. My family hosted a man named Richard, and he was from Rwanda, and he was telling me stories about how he really felt that his country needed help, and especially those kids that were there without education.
Jessica, she asked me, what do you think I can do to help some of the girls of my age in Rwanda? Most of them, they're coming from their mothers are like widows, and they don't have money for materials like books, uniforms. It's not easy.
I decided I wanted to help the girls in Rwanda by supporting them to go to school, and I wanted the girls in Rwanda to be able to learn and be hopeful with their dreams and have those dreams come true.
Niga kuri Nyamata High School, mfite imyaka 14, nitwa Mutesi Grace. Nuko ku ishuri, iyo uje ku ishuri umenyeramo byinshi utaruzi, usangaho bagenzi bawe, mugakundana mukabwirana n'ibindi bintu, mbe niho ukura ubumenyi na future y'ejo hazaza.
With the small contribution they have got, it means a lot. It encourages them to continue studying, which is their vision anyway.
Numva nzaba umuganga. Ndabikunda cyane kuko nanjye mba mbona mumfasha nkumva biramfashije. Numva nanjye ninkura nkagira icyo nigezaho nzafasha bagenzi banjye.
It's been a lot of work being the president of this group, but I know that all the work is going to something good, and I know that if I was there, they would help me.
Back when I was in 6th grade, like the video said, a man named Richard Kananga came to stay with my family and I, and he was a human rights activist working on reconciliation and rebuilding hope in his country. I was only 11 years old, but I was very interested in what happened in his country, and one night over dinner he talked about how there were girls just like me my age, and they were small little girls just like me, but the only difference was that they recently became the heads of their households, and they no longer could afford to go to school, and their education could no longer be a priority in their life. And so when I heard that, I was attending an all-girls middle school that was empowering me and telling me that I could do anything. And when I heard there were girls across the world that didn't even have the opportunity to go to school, something felt wrong. So I went back to my middle school the next day, and I handed out applications to start a club called Richard's Rwanda-IMPUHWE. So I named it after Richard and added IMPUHWE, which means compassion in Rwandan, and it stands for Inspire, Motivate, Powerful, Undiscovered, Hopeful Women with Education. So that's sort of our mission in one acronym, and our logo is a book opening to show a horizon and hope for the future. And so I brought this back to my middle school and gathered as many girls as I could, and I got about 10 girls to help me in trying to raise money for girls in Rwanda. Richard connected me to about 20 girls in this rural village called Nyamata, and we started to raise some funds throughout that year, but that summer I decided I wanted to go and visit these girls. So my mom and I took a trip to Rwanda and went to hear these girls' stories and meet them and see their families if they had any and see their homes and their country. And so I learned a lot about the genocide and this history of the country, but I also learned about these girls. And something that I learned was that they were so shy and timid and seemed to have a loss of hope in their eyes. And they were all beautiful girls that wanted to thrive but didn't have that opportunity of education. So I knew that I needed to keep doing this work. And so I went back to school that year, and we started to do more fundraisers. One of our most common fundraisers is a bake sale, which is actually one of my favorites because you raise a lot of money, but you also raise awareness in your community, and you have a lot of fun with it as well. And so I'd like you guys to take a wild guess how much money it costs to send a girl to primary school, which is like elementary school. Anybody have a guess? Yeah? A couple thousand. Less? 500? Less? You're so close. So warm. Yeah. Perfect! Give her a round of applause. So it only costs $40 for a girl to go to school for an entire year in primary school. So some of you were guessing thousands of dollars, $800, but it's only $40. And when you think about what that goes to here in the United States, well, sometimes you might spend that on an expensive meal or a pair of shoes or even a shirt. And so when we heard this fact, we said, wow, we can actually do a lot as 12-year-old girls. And so we started to have lots of fundraisers, and throughout middle school, more and more girls started to join. So when I saw this video, I started to think a lot about the effect that we could have on this world. And not only could the girls in Rwanda have an effect on their community and their nation, but also us girls here in the United States. So we had more bake sales and car washes and other events. And by the end of middle school, we had lots of girls involved in our group. And we had grew from about 10 to 40 girls. And we were a big movement known in our school, but also in our community, and we were spreading a lot of awareness about the importance of girls' education. And so not only is the raising money important, but also getting the word out that girls are powerful, and this effect of girls in these third world countries where they are needed, but not being educated is crucial. And so, so what I want to talk about is the impact that not only the girls in Rwanda are having on their communities, but also the girls here in Seattle and across the country that are involved are having. So you'll see two girls here on the screen. One of them is named Claudine, and one of them is named Caroline. Claudine is from Nyamata in Rwanda, and Caroline is from Delaware. Claudine is having the opportunity to become educated. She is becoming a leader. She's becoming empowered, and she is now a hopeful young woman who knows she can make a change in her community. Caroline is from Delaware and heard about the project through one of my friends that was involved at Seattle Girls School and decided she wanted to start a chapter in Delaware. So she invited her friends to join her, and they started raising money. She's making a change and showing her community that she cares and that women are powerful and valuable. And Caroline is becoming a globally educated teen. She's making a difference. She's realizing that she has the power to do that, but she's also inspiring other youth from her school and her community and showing the world that she also can make a change. So our project not only has one impact, but it actually has a double impact. So we have a girl effect going both ways, which is what's really important, is that not only are we making a change for them, but you're also making a change for yourself. This is a photo of me at a Education for All press conference. And I really enjoy speaking, and it's a lot of fun, but one of the things that I've dealt with throughout my 6 years with Richards Rwanda is I've actually been teased a lot and really bullied for what I do and what I enjoy. And so to give you a little feel for this, in my freshman year at Garfield High School, I was walking down the halls, and CNN was doing a piece on Richards, Rwanda, so they were following me around at school. And so it was a regular day. I had my backpack on, and I had my head down as I was walking around, and the film crew was following me. And so a lot of friends were sort of laughing and teasing and making fun, and sometimes it's really hard to deal with that because even some of my good friends were making fun of me and saying, oh, haha, you do this. But in the end, what I really learned is that it's so important to do what we're doing, and regardless of what happens at home and what other people say, your work is truly changing lives. And so small challenges like that should never get in the way of work that's important to the world. My first year that I went to visit Rwanda, I went to this all-girls boarding school called IMPUHWE. It stands for the Forum of African Women Educationalists. And I noticed this group of girls under a tree playing, singing songs, dancing, and I asked them what they were doing. And they said that they were having a club meeting for their family. And so all of these girls had lost family members to the genocide or their entire families. So what this club was, is it was a family that they created for each other. There was a grandma, there was an aunt, there was a mom. They were all there for each other to create a support system because they didn't have that anymore. So this was a truly beautiful thing for me to see, but what was even better is I became really close to one of the girls, and she said, could I call you my sister and can we stay in touch? And so we stayed in touch over email, and the next year when I came back, she said she had this huge surprise for me. So I came back and I was expecting like a chocolate bar or maybe some like goat, because that's what they eat in Rwanda, maybe some barbecued goat. But it was even better. It was actually, they had started their own chapter of Richards, Rwanda at their school. And so these girls themselves are living in poverty and have lost family, but they knew that they needed to help their fellow sisters living in this rural village. So they took out their pocket money, their used materials, and they started a chapter and called it Create a Smile. And so they go to the village and they mentor the girls and they're role models to the girls, and they're there for them as an older sister, and to just really support them through their education and show them that you can be an empowered woman. One of the things that we decided we should really do as a group is go to Rwanda and see their lives and show these teens that are working so hard to raise money what it's like in their world. Our first year, we took a trip with the founding members, which was 12 of us girls, and we went to Rwanda and we met these girls' families if they had any. We saw their homes, we saw their lives, but most importantly, we created friendships and relationships, and we taught English. And it was an amazing trip that showed us that you can be across the world, but feel like you've known somebody for years and you're the exact same person. And so after our first trip, we continued going back, and this year we had 27 students. And what I really saw is that you can see how much of an impact you're having on their lives. By going and showing them that you care and that they do have the power, they thrive and they bloom and they get inspired to make change. And our first year, we only had 12 girls, and then the next year we brought boys, and that was really exciting for them because it had only been all girls, and they were like, whoa, American boys, that's awesome. And a lot of the girls that have come on our trip, we play sports, but most of us don't really play basketball, and so this year a lot of the guys played basketball and actually got beat in a basketball game against our girls, so girl power. But yeah, so these trips are really, really fun, and the most important thing that I've learned is that I really do have so much in common. So, we were singing Chris Brown together, and we're dancing, and we're doing all these things, and it just shows you that cross-cultural friendships are truly amazing. One of my favorite stories throughout my 6 years with Richards, Rwanda-IMPUHWE is there's a girl named Grace, and she was one of the first girls we ever started supporting. And when I met her, she was one of the girls that wasn't as shy. She was actually very outgoing and excited. And as we started to support her with an education, she started to really, really thrive. And we actually were able to send her to a different school because she was doing so well. At an all-girls school, she went and she became the head of her class. And she ended up actually starting another chapter of Richards, Rwanda at her school. So she herself is being supported, but wants to continue supporting her sisters, and she started another chapter. And she's an amazing example of how these girls can really change their lives and the lives of girls around them and in their community. And when we go into the community for our trip, the people around and their parents know us, and they see that we're really helping their community and we're helping their country make a change for themselves. what I want to leave you with is that the power you have is unbelievable, and sometimes you don't realize it, but you can be 12 years old, you can be 15, you can be 50, but you have the power to make a change, and it starts with a girl, and it starts with inspiring other girls and having this girl effect and impact. My favorite quote that I want to leave you with is, when you educate a girl, you educate the community. And so really think about that as you go on with your day and as you go on with your life. You're at an all-girls school, you have amazing people around you, and you have amazing opportunities to make change. And I'm going to show you one video of a film that's coming out today that's amazing and shows you, again, the power of girls. Thank you.
Tonight, one of the bravest girls in the world.
Malala Yousafzai became renowned for demanding girls be given the right to education.
Shot in the head on her school bus.
She was a student who wanted to learn, but now she's fighting to live.
Come on, skinny love, just last the year. Poor little soul, we were never here.
I was 11 years old when my father arranged for me to be married.
Staring at the sink of blood, crushed veneer.
I had heard about the thousands of girls sold to men in those places. I can't really talk about everything that happened to me here, but I will never forget. We have come to this house, the house of her master, to say, you must set her free.
Regrets collect like old friends, here to relive your darkest moments. I can see no way, I can see no way, and all of the ghouls come out to play.
There is no miracle here, just a girl with dreams.
I will read, I will study, I will learn. If you try to stop me, I will just try harder. If you stop me, there will be other girls who rise up and take my place. I am change.
I am my own master now. I feel as though I have power.
Now there's nothing to stop.
I feel I can do anything.
Before I go, I just have one question for all of you. What do you think is the solution? Education, but one other word. A girl! Thank you.